morning, grinders. Welcome to the DFS pregame show here on RotoGrinders. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka Blender Ed, Blender HD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, and it's Tuesday, and I'm still recovering from COVID, so this show will last only as long as my voice will last. So you didn't get the big. You got a semi-big good morning. Good morning. It's good enough. It's good enough. I see you guys in the YouTube chat, so you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to compensate a little bit today. Maybe a little bit more busy in the YouTube chat. I see Yasuki Singh, Doug Montgomery, Trey, Matt Mears, right? Because it's just me today, right? Yesterday, on Mondays, James is here, so he gets to talk a bit. Me, let's see how long this goes before before my voice gets out. It may be 5 minutes. It may only be 5 minutes, but you never know. But yesterday, good day yesterday, good night yesterday. Good and bad. Well, bad if you think in the terms of like what did you miss out on? But yesterday I did well on FanDuel. Lost money on Draftkings. DraftKings. The key to the slate yesterday was the Raptors news. Fred VanVleet unlikely to play, ends up not playing. Malachi Flynn starting. And the other key came after lock with the Kings starting lineup. Harkless did not start, and Trey Lyles did, and Rashawn Holmes was out, which means they were going to be light in their front court. So Trey Lyles at minimum price became a not a smash value play. I mean, he did smash, but a very, very good value play, and he also benefited from the fact Sabonis got into foul trouble early in the first half. But a lot, I would expect a lot of sharper players that swapped onto a bunch of Lyles if the space permitted to it. So I mean, to me, those were the really two keys to the slate. Everyone else, what was going to happen with the Raptors front court? We saw Ken Burch start instead of like Boucher or Achua. So like it kind of knocked some of those guys down projection wise. So you had to adjust to that. So like the problem is that with the Trey Lyles news, I was messing around too much with my lineups, and by the time I finished inserting Trey Lyles into about 30-something% of my lineups, 8 o'clock locked. And I wasn't paying attention to the time. I was fooling around with the late swap stuff because I was only swapping a certain percentage of my lineups. Some of the lineups I like, a lot of like the lineups towards the lower end of the spectrum. I was swapping in a bunch of Lyles, and then I had to do with Lyles only being 3K. Like some of those lineups like left more than 1,000 on the table, so I had to make sure that all my rules were being kept in the late swap tool. So I had to separate lineups. By the time I did all of that, it was I think it was just at 8 o'clock. By the time I was ready to upload, I went to upload and I uploaded and it said it can't do it. I go, what are you talking about? And I look at my clock and it says 8:01. It says 8:01, so I missed putting Trey Lyles into a whole bunch of lineups. I don't think it would have mattered all that much. Anyway, I mean, I wouldn't have won first in anything. I had a good lineup that it would have had Lyles and Sabonis, and it ended up with Portis and Trey Mann, but it wouldn't have gotten there because Sabonis, snowflake, right? He wouldn't have gotten there. So we have a bunch. I mean, it was a very chalky slate yesterday. Chalk pretty much got there. I mean, some of the obviously the Raptors game blew out. That was unfortunate for guys like Siakam. Trent, 29 points is still fine, but Scotty Barnes was the. If you didn't have Scotty Barnes, you did not win. Scotty doesn't know, but he does know. And we have Daniel Hutchings in the chat. He was he was up there for a while. He was in first place for a while until he wasn't. Right? Where'd you end up? Where did Nerdy Tenor end up? I saw him up here towards it. Where the hell did you go? What did you end up finishing in this? 37th? You went from all the way to first to 37th? How did that happen? Let's see. Right, yeah, he had D-Lo, right. So Right, Lamb let you down. Right, and also the Milwaukee game blowing out. Right, so you didn't get enough out of Drew Holiday. I mean, Giannis got 67, but he could have played an extra 5 minutes. Got Kevin Love, Malachi Flynn, Scotty Barnes. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell. That game didn't blow out, but 38.5. Well, compared to the top lineup, we have, just Trey Lyles, John Morant with 63. Obviously, Brandon Goodwin crushed. Lonnie Walker, he could have played pretty much anyone at 4,500. Wouldn't have mattered that much. Right? This is the type of lineup I was looking at. Like, I had a lineup that looked like this without Precious Achiuwa. Like Goodwin, Edwards, Trent, Barnes, SGA, Lyles, Morant. Like, I'm looking at some of these lineups. Yeah, I didn't have Achiuwa. But I like Thad Young. Like, this is a lineup minus Terry Rozier. Very similar types of lineups. I mean, you could tell. I could always tell by looking at, a lot of 150 maxers. And I tend to have lineups that look like lineups that sharper players that tend to play 150 entries play. Right. I just play less. I don't play 150. Looking across the board on let's see. What do I have saved here? Right. A Hubro played 0 Brandon Goodwin. Well, that didn't work out. Right. Most were over, right? I showed my money at 11%, Nerdy 10 or 29. But most were over. Gabe Vincent, most over. Field was 43. Right. What? There were no like lock button type of smack. Like, you got to play this in 99% of your lineups. There weren't any like that. Gary Trent. You had a bunch of Gary Trent. Pascal Siakam. I see a bunch of green, right? Petty theft, right? 84%. Right. Giannis. You could have made builds with Giannis, without Giannis. Malachi Flynn. Whistles had 0. RBX had 8. Yeah, I would think the contrarian players would have much less of him. Still 21% owned, and most, I see the Colts 58, Nerdy 10 or 49, Oxen Duck 66. Right, Trey Man was over-owned. Trey Man was heavily over-owned. I only had very little. You could see they right across the board. Right, it was 19% owned. Wow. With SGA back. Okay. SGA in and of himself. Mixed here. Jalen Smith got ejected. Some people had a lot. Some people had none. Just going through. So, like, if we go to where's Trey Lyles? For Trey Lyles, there's a who late swapped. So, like, cheese, nerdy tenor. No late swaps. Whistles 0. It's unlikely he had Trey Lyles before he was in the starting lineup. So I'm assuming anyone that has any exposure to him swapped out, like the Colts, 92%, RBX 86%, Oxen Duck 46%. Right. We went for what? 11x. Just going through it. Oh, Daniel didn't even realize that he had to swap. Didn't even realize it. Right. I saw him up there. Paying attention, like 5 minutes to go in the entire slate. The second of the fourth quarter? Right, you were in first place. 100K. You come in for 37th. For what? What was your total? Let's see. Nerdy. You actually lost money on the slate. Right, minus 1485. Them's the breaks. FanDuel, I did FanDuel my cash line. Like, I scored a 418 with my cash lineup on FanDuel, and put in 695 worth of entries, got 4,200 back. Only because I do put my cash lineup in low stakes, small GPPs. Typically, I play luck. Like, if you see here, this is my history. So I just play a lot of, head-to-heads, double ups, I try to play as much as I can under the $1 and $2. I also play the $10, $5 double ups, 50-50s, the 100-man 50-50s. I just try to play it as lowest stakes as possible since I'm still eligible to play low stakes on FanDuel. So it's mostly like here, like just 50-50s, all this type of stuff, just a ton of stuff. But I also, I still play the quintuple ups, right? $10 quintuple up, triple up. We scroll all the way down. I do put it in smaller field, like take a look, like the dribbler, the $1 single entry, the three max, $1, $2, the $5 assist, and the $10 dime. Right, and low stake stuff. Because even building a cash lineup, the field strengths of these fields are weak enough that they're worth playing. I don't expect to win though, and apparently I did. And if I would have played the 450, the monster, I would have came in first by 13 points. But I don't play that. I just jam it in. Maybe I should have played more of these or whatever. It ends up happening, right? I take a look. And the dime. I didn't even think my lineup was that great for a ceiling. I didn't even think my lineup was that great for a ceiling. All right, I played Vincent, Goodwin, SGA, Flynn, Trent, Butler, Giannis, Barnes, and Love. But this was my cash lineup. This is my I want to win 50-50s lineup. It was one of the top. It was here on RG. It was one of the top 20 optimums. This. All I wanted to do is just make sure to get as many of the Toronto points as possible. I didn't have Siakam or whatever, but I'm just like, if like Flynn was not going to be all that popular on FanDuel. Because Flynn was 3K on DraftKings, he's 4K on 4K on FanDuel. But I wanted to play Vincent, I wanted to play Goodwin. I made sure to play Butler. Butler was going to be popular. Right? And I knew Giannis was going to be popular. Right? So look at the ownership of these guys, right? I'm trying to play cash games, right? I just want to play I want to play the highest owned people, essentially. So it's like, okay, once I plug in Vincent, Goodwin, Butler, and Giannis, what do I get? And this is what I got. It literally 30 seconds. And then I ran just like 50 lineups, and it was in like the top 20. Right. Some of the lineups didn't have Butler. Some of the lineups didn't have Barnes and had like Bamba and Love together. And I didn't want to do that. If I was going to pay cheap for a center, it was going to just be one of them, not both of them. Truthfully, I preferred Dejounte Murray to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but I was left. Didn't have. You need an extra 100 for that. So essentially, that's what I did. I just plugged in Vincent, Goodwin. This is obviously after projections updated for Flynn being in the starting lineup. And I just did Vincent, Goodwin, Giannis, Butler, Locke. And this is the lineup that came out. And I thought that was good for cash games, especially. I don't mind Barnes. I don't mind Trent. I don't mind Flynn. Just give me as many of the Toronto. But I don't have to worry about the backcourt. I essentially have the three backcourt players for the Raptors. However it goes out, it just goes. Right, whatever. Then I have Butler and Vincent. So I got that taken care of. I got Love and Goodwin. Got that. It's like just got a nice floor. But it turns out that I got a ceiling. So 418. Would have won everything. Not everything. The large field GPP, the winning score was 423. So it's not like I would have won the large, but still, to have your cash lineup be. I thought this was a good floor lineup, not the best ceiling line. I didn't think Malachi Flynn would get 36 FanDuel points. He was there. I was like, can Malachi Flynn get 18? Can Kevin Love get 28? Right? That's what I'm looking at. Scotty Barnes, I'm not looking for 66 points. Right? Can you give me 32? Right? So I did well. I did well. Yeah, some people had the same lineup. There were a couple of contests where I did like 2 other people had the same lineup. So I don't think it's a hard lineup to get, because truthfully, I don't think it's a hard lineup to get to. Right? I mean, look, I just plugged in 3 guys and plugged in 4 guys and pressed a button. I mean, these were all like these were all top projected players on the slate. So I don't think it was that hard. Yeah, there was one contest that tied twice with 2 other people. Right. I mean, I won all my head. I mean, I won everything. But I know I saw FJ Bourne. He won the monster with a 405. I think he I made a sarcastic tweak last night, and he liked it. Because if I would have entered, he would have came in second. But I don't play it. I don't play it, and nor was this lineup geared towards any like the dude. If I was actively playing GPPs, like I'm going to play a large, small, high stakes GPP lineup, probably would not have Malachi Flynn in it. Right? It was supposed to be a floor lineup, and just I got lucky. Right, so here's what the assists. Did I split the assist? Oh yeah, the dribbler with 83-33. It was me and 2 other people at the same lineup. All right, defrost in any game for you. Doesn't seem that, yeah, like 5% owned. Malik, right. I mean, if you take a look at this contest, even lower ownership. But I get lucky with Flynn. Flynn is not the type of player that should be putting up 36 Fanduel points, right? There was a blowout. I mean, he ran towards the end of the game. Siakam just pretty much sat. Whatever, it happens. But some people would be like, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't play it in the higher stakes." It's like I don't play those contests. I play one lineup in FanDuel to take advantage of the lowest stakes possible, and just my win rate in low stakes cash on FanDuel in NBA is 73%. So if I have $500 to $700 worth of volume a day, right, at a 73% win rate, I have like a 13 to 15% ROI. It's like an expected value of like $60, $70. So why not take it, right? 60 or 70 bucks a day in NBA. I have no problem with it. But I do throw it into the small. I do throw it into some of the dollar GPPs and stuff like that, because the min cash equity is actually higher in those contests with my type of lineup, because the field strength is much lower. But I'm not doing it because I could potentially win first place. But yeah, there is upside, I guess. Charles Badalamenti says landed on James Johnson instead of Love on FanDuel. That was the difference between a min cash and a top 5 finish. Yeah, well, James Johnson got into foul trouble. Also, it depends. Like James Johnson was only small forward, power forward eligible. So if you were going to play, what center were you playing? You're probably what, Bamba? Center, Jared Allen. I mean, center was not a strong position yesterday. I didn't want to play Bamba. I didn't want to play Love or Bamba. And I definitely didn't want to play them together. I mean, that would have still been fine. But that was the key. I was purely building this lineup to win 50-50s. That's it. Just give me enough points to get over the line. I won 50-50 by like 70 points. I'll take the money. Take the $3,500 profit. I'll take it. Put in an old bankroll. So what do we got in the chat? It'll be a short show. Remember, I'm surprised my voice is still holding up right now. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game slate today. 6 game slate. Only one late game. Okay, that's not bad. Be mostly done by 8 o'clock. Is Daniel Gafford going to be chalk? Is that the key? Is that what happened in today? 24 minutes for $3,600. I don't know. No idea. That's why it's hard to go over earlier in the day, right? We got question marks here. LeBron, Van Vliet, Porter. Everyone else doesn't matter, I don't think. Plus, you never know what's going to happen, right? Doesn't matter if they're on the injury report or not. That's what it looks like right now. Luka, Gafford, what's going on with FanDuel? Reggie Jackson at 7,000. We playing him on FanDuel? I guess we still got Scotty Barnes, Daniel Gafford, right? Take a look at that FanDuel optimal. Right, Gafford, Tatum, Siakam, Barnes, Wiggins, Luka, KCP. Seems like it's less straightforward on FanDuel as it compared to DraftKings. We'll see. We will see. So what do you got in the YouTube chat? It's gonna be a very short show. Very short show if it's not for the YouTube chat people. Give me those thumbs ups. So I think my voice can only last a half an hour. You heard me yesterday. My voice, I start, and then I kind of trail off. Daniel Hutchings says I should max enter chicken soup. I got some chicken soup. Like, I don't feel sick. Like, I don't, like, it doesn't feel, like, I don't feel like I'm sick. These are all, like, lingering effects. Every once in a while, I'll cough. So it's not like I'm coughing all the time. I don't have a headache. I don't have aches and pains. I feel perfectly fine. Mentally fine. Everything fine. Just keep on talking, and next thing you know, my throat just goes, you can't talk anymore. Sorry. Oh yeah, Matt. We got a coaching session tonight. If you're a RotoGrinders premium member, which you should be, I don't know why you're not, right? It's cheap enough. You get all the projections, you get all the tools, you get all the everything. You get all the everything. Dude, you could have made the same lineup as me on FanDuel in 30 seconds. You could have. Just use the projections, right? That's all you really needed to do. Then choose between one of like 20 lineups and go, yeah, that's the lineup I want. And there you go. Not hard. So sign up for RotoGrinders Premium. I got my own Discord channel in our Discord. If you use Discord, it's like a chat platform. You join my channel if you're a premium member, and about once a week, around weekly, I do private group coaching on Zoom. So it's just me, and a lot of times we get somewhere between 20 and 30 people. So if a lot of people ask for private coaching, I want to show you some stuff. I want to, people show me their Roto Tracker, their Excel stuff. They ask questions specifically about their play and everything like that. Of course, it's like a AA meeting type of thing, right? There's still 20 other people there. But I do that for about an hour or two, about once a week, and it's only for premium RotoGrinders people that are part of the Blenders Game Theory channel in the Discord. And we're having another group coaching call tonight at 8:30 Eastern. You know why 8:30 Eastern? Because it's after all these games, right? 8:30. I don't have to worry about late swap as much, right? But the Mavericks Lakers game. What's the worst thing that happens? I'm on a Zoom call and I gotta make some 1v1 types of swaps, maybe at worst. That's why I'll be shortly after lock, but that's only for RotoGrinders Premium members. So sign up for RotoGrinders. Join the Discord, rotogrinders.com/Discord. Direct yourself there. I always post a link and a form in there for you to fill out, just so I know who wants to talk or whatever. See, you can even subscribe to my alerts. So I always send out, the next call is going to be this time, and 5 minutes to go. Show up if you want. So I have alerts in there. I can alert you for anything. I don't know. I don't see any reason to alert. I don't send out alerts for no reason. And Matt Meir says coaching sessions worth the premium sub in itself. I would think so. Some of the conversations that I have with some of you people are really smart. Some of the people I learn stuff from. Right? Matt has been on most of the calls. They're very smart subscribers there. That have good questions that I enjoy. I enjoy discussing. Seeing people's processes, seeing people, and of course, my natural inclination is try to nitpick, and I do that on purpose because I do that to myself. That sounds logical, but have you thought of here's a path of failure, there's a path of failure, there's a path of failure. Is it as much of a path of I don't know. That's why I'm asking. There are smart people that you could, if you don't want to ask questions, you don't want to be on audio, video, or whatever, you don't have to. Just show up and listen and watch. We don't record those calls, by the way. So once they're gone, they're gone. If you're not there, you ain't there. The only reason I do that is so people feel comfortable sharing anything about their own play that they want, without having the fear of, it's going to be on the record or some YouTube video or something on a RotoGrinders site. Or I'm transparent. I don't mind sharing. I share on this show all the time. But other people may not want to have a record out there, or show how bad they're doing, or good they're doing, or what they're doing. So we never record the calls. Everything's been whatever's in Zoom stays in Zoom, right? It's like Vegas. So you could join that. I will be having another group coaching call, 8:30 tonight. But we have the guys, as usual, here at RotoGrinders going over the 6-game NBA slate grinders live. That's later today. Hit that thumbs up button to let you know when we go live. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Right? Hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Right? So I'm pretty much done. I think my voice, I don't know, maybe it could last another 5 minutes, but I don't know. I need to save the voice for the group coaching calls, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll be better tomorrow. Maybe I'll get. I think this is better than yesterday. I think Eli would say that. I've spoken for what, like 28 minutes. That my voice completely going away. So I consider that a plus, right? Yesterday, I think within 3 minutes with talking to James back and forth, my voice was just. So I think that's a good sign, right? I think that's a good sign. It's either a good sign or a really bad sign or something. It's one of those signs. Mo laughs. Do you look at the players' past games to see how many times they have hit value? No. Or do you just trust the projections? The projections, yes. There's nothing else you need to look at. How many times they hit value? What is it? What do I care? What do I care about past games? I only care about current games. Well, one of the games, maybe he played 28 minutes. One of the games, he played 36 minutes. One of the games, someone was in foul trouble. One of the games was a blowout. All the context. If you're looking at past games, all of that data is already being accounted for in the current day's projections. Right. See, Daniel even answered that. Any decent projection system will already be factoring past data and adjusting probabilities. Yes. See, it seems most of my fight. Seems like most of my fight in DFS is to get people to actually utilize the tools. Right. That is from you. Trust me. There's tons of sharp players that are thanking their bottom dollars. That not enough players actually utilize the tools that are available to them. Right. Right. You said people ask me, right, especially like in an NBA, a less correlative sport. They go, I've won GPPs in NBA. I won 100K in NBA. Won 50K twice. when several other 5-figure scores. Cash, NBA cash, unprofitable. They go, well, how? Can you teach me how? I said, well, just look at the projections and build your lineup. He goes, that's it? Yes. It's just trust the tools that are there for you. Right? Just that's all you have to do. Right? Do you know when you're going to win? No, of course not. Of course, GPPs are built more on projection versus ownership. So there's a secondary factor there. So you're building somewhat leveraged lineups for the contest that you're playing. The cash games, like, dude, like last season or whatever, I literally pressed the optimize button on FanDuel and played low stakes and whatever. I made $20,000 in cash and 50-50s. Basically, just what's the top projected lineup? And there you go. You could do it too. You just have to trust the number, right? The first thing that I always say when talking to someone about, using tools and numbers, don't worry about basketball, is do you trust the projections? Because the answer is no. Then I understand why you're using voodoo methodologies. I can understand that. Right? It's like, like going to the doctor. Do you trust science? No. Well, now I see why you're waving a stick above your head trying to cure your cold. Yeah, because you don't trust science. So now I get it. Now I get why on the third Tuesday with his white shoes, it's a revenge narrative. I gotta play Patrick Beverly. I mean, like stupid stuff that doesn't matter because you don't trust the projections. Okay, but if you do trust the projections, then there's no need to do any of the voodoo stuff. You don't have to wave sticks over your head. You don't have to throw salt over your shoulder. You don't have to do any of that type of stuff. Apocalypse says, I think more people are using the tools these days. The problem is they don't spend enough time trying to understand them. Well, that too. I still think people don't use it. We have our NBA channel in RotoGrinders Discord. There's still people that subscribe, that pay for this stuff and don't use it. Right? That's why you get the questions. What do you think of this guy? I don't think of anything of that guy. The guy is. I just look at the numbers. What do you think of Reggie Jackson? I think he's 8,200 and he has a 41.76 median. Right? He's going to be 23.93% like that. What do I think? I think nothing. You take away the names. Who cares? Well, do you think in this matchup that blah, blah, whatever you're asking is already factored into these numbers? Like that's still half the battle. Everything that you could think of is already reflected in these numbers. So once you're able to fully trust the numbers, then you could focus on playing DFS well. And then just build good lineups. A combination of projection and ownership. That's it. For the contest that you're playing. And in cash games, just play the top median lineup. Or the most owned lineup. Right? There are a lot, you may find there's 20 lineups within 1 point of each other. That's perfectly fine. Play any of the 20. Fine. Build the top 20 and pick which one you want. Right? You go on FanDuel, right? You're gonna go, okay, let's see, based on my projections, and you go, I don't want to play Andrew Wiggins. So the X amount and play the next lineup. This lineup has a 330 median projection. Without Wiggins, maybe the next lineup has a 329. It's a 1 point difference. If you don't want to play Andrew Wiggins, then don't play. There you go. What do I care about anything else? Are you going to play Scotty Barnes again, even if Van Vliet is? But I don't. It's already reflected in the numbers. Anything you'd ask me is already reflected in the numbers. Trust the numbers. That's why it's hard for me to give advice, especially early in the day, on what to do. Who knows? One guy's in, one guy's out. Ownership changes. I don't even open this up until an hour before. The only reason I have any clue what's going on is because I have to do this show. So I have to have a first look. I go, oh, okay. That's interesting. But after this show, I just close my browser and wait until 6 p.m. Eastern. 5:30 maybe, right? Because the injury or whatever. Other than that, there's no need to. The numbers will still be there. Right? How much research do you need to do? There's no research. We're doing it for you. Now, if you don't have projections, now I understand. Now you got to wave the stick above your head, the salt behind the shoulder, right? You have to do the voodoo, the rain dance. You got to do all that. You got to go look through the, basketball reference, put the numbers together, like the lost numbers, right? 8, 16, 24. You got to do all of that. You got to chant. You got to, whatever voodoo methodology. Yeah, okay, then I understand. If you have a projection model, that's good. Why do you have to do any of that? You don't have to. It's already done. Money making Mike. It's because all the pros say they use FC, which is a public tool. Yeah, well, this is a public tool also. Also, all the tools, you could load whatever projections you wanted to this. Like, dude, if you don't agree with the projection, you want to make your own model. Like the lineup HQ optimizers are just the tools. You need good numbers in the tools. So if you don't like RotoGrinders projections, but you want to use like lineup HQ, you could upload your own stuff. You could upload your own ownership. You could aggregate stuff inside of. You could do whatever you want. Daniel Hutchins says, as a developer of poker tools, I can tell you the misuse of tools is definitely a thing, but laziness is probably much larger. No, I would agree with that. Laziness is probably much larger. Most people just won't put in the minimal effort. I don't understand it, though. I don't. It's there. That I mean, if you watch this show every day, it doesn't take that much effort. It's more of a mind. Understanding the concepts. Take the time to get out of your worldview that I know basketball. Why do I need to look at these? What do the numbers mean? The math is gonna beat you more often than not. So many people, right? It's like, oh, I can't play this guy because of a matchup, or this guy's in a good matchup. Why doesn't he project better? He projects as well as he should project. You're the one overvaluing that variable. You're the one. That's the problem. Money making Mike says people get into DFS think they're going to find a way to print money. Well, you're money making Mike. Do you need it? Do you need a way to print money? You're money making Mike. And once they find out it takes effort, it turns them away, just like most other things in life. It doesn't take that much effort. That's really the secret. It doesn't take that much effort. The bigger effort is the worldview change. Okay, that's the big effort, which doesn't take actual effort. It just takes a change in psychology. To me, that's the effort. Everything else is. I wonder why it doesn't take. I wonder why I could still make money doing this. My process is profitable and not complicated, right? And I talk to other people. We have like Peter Viles, bro, similar process to me. Forsaken, right? If you know Jesse, similar process. Neil Orfield, similar process. Like people that aren't building simulations, are just basically using the tools that are available. Basically just here are the numbers, build your lineups, type of players. Like I do the same. Said they're profitable, I'm profitable, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel or anything. But the main worldview difference is that you're playing a game like that. It has nothing to do with sports. Like you have to remove Like, well, I can't play Kevin Looney because of that. No, what do I care? I don't even know who these people are. I mean, I do, but I mean, you have to. Everything involved with basketball is already in here. So now you're just playing a game of numbers. And you're just arranging numbers in a better way than your opponents. That's it. Daniel Hutchins says you could change the world, you could change your mind. Deep thoughts. But that's what I try to do. But the key thing is that I don't mind explaining everything that I ever do and being 100% transparent, because 95% of people won't actually do it. It's amazing because 95% of people won't do it. They'll actually pay and then still not do it. It's amazing to me. And there's 5% of people that will. And those 5% of people are people that I don't want in my contests. I'm probably not helping myself. Right? I create monsters. That's what I do. I'm a monster factory. Right? Daniel's in the chat. He has no idea what's going on. Right? He programs his algorithms. He has his computer programs that learn how to play. So he doesn't even know how to play. And it turns out the lineups that he makes are the same types of lineups that I make. It turns out my strategies are actually correct based on his program. His program confirms the fact that my concepts make sense. He probably does it way more efficiently than I do. Okay. So hit that thumbs up button. I lasted 42 minutes. Even with my voice. So I'm gonna have to rest my voice for the rest of the day. And then we got a coaching call later today for RotoGrinder premium members to sign up to RotoGrinders Premium, rotogrinders.com/premium. Join the Discord, rotogrinders.com/Discord. Join the Blenders Game Theory channel. And link will be posted in there for our Zoom call tonight at 8:30 Eastern. I got Grinders live later today, going over the NBA slate crunch time for premium members. I know Grant has a new show now, the Live Locks. It's a prop betting show. I think that's at 2:00 Eastern. Check that out on our YouTube channel, and I will see you hopefully with a better voice tomorrow, answering your DFS strategy questions as always on the DFS pregame show on RotoGrinders.com.